Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to jump right into it here. We are outside today testing bare shaft tuning. This has come up a couple times since I've started using the one wing in my bare shaft tuning. I haven't, and you're going to come along and see what I found with bare shaft tuning, along with even the Tritech, Dart and Tritech, how to make some adjustments for tuning. So let's jump right in and go outside, and we're going to get right into it, and then we'll wrap up back in here. All right, guys, we are out on our first shot to start testing the bare shaft tuning. So we're going to first start with the one vane arrow, one wing, correction, it's the one wing. So we'll take our first shot with the one wing, then we'll take the shot with the bare shaft and see where that lands. Now it's the bare shaft's turn. All right, so we clearly are shooting to the left. Looks like it's kicking to the left. The tail's to the right. We're gonna start looking that up, and we're gonna start adjusting. All right, so we took our first shots, and my research shows, based on the graph that I'm gonna put up here, and YouTubing, what I can find is with it shooting to the left, I need to adjust with the dart, and we have on the Tritech, you got these pockets that you can adjust for turning the cams. From what I understand, what I've researched, again, this is all just researching based, trying to figure this out here, that I need to turn the right side on each cam equally. That's really important. The same direction, in small increments. I think what I'm going to do on the first one, I'm quite a bit off on my first shot to the left. I need to turn these the right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that with these Allens. Got to find the right one, and then we'll take some more shots. See what happens. See if we can figure this out. All right, so I'm going to go half turn. And see what that does first. We'll see if that starts to move it to the right. That's supposedly based on what I've researched and YouTubed, watching some guys, and even Steve with the one arrow archery had mentioned and kind of taught me just by email kind of what I'm looking for. So based on what I know, that is supposed to start turning my arrow, my bare shaft, towards where my one wing is hitting. So it should be going now to the right more with this next shot. So let's go see what happens. All right, here we go, round two. Where I shot, let's see if this worked. All right, so let's take a look at this here, and we'll compare from the last shots here. So as you can see, these were my first, actually right here and here. This is the first shots. Now we're here and here. That's actually looking better. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do another crank on the cams. I'll probably do, I think I'm gonna do one full rotation from here to the right, and then we're gonna shoot again. So I'm gonna go adjust that real quick, and then we will do another shot sequence here. All right, we went ahead and did another full rotation on this guy. Let's shoot again. All right, we're about, I would say, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 inches apart now. So we are gaining on this. I'll do another, I'm gonna do another crank, a whole rotation and maybe a quarter and see if we can't get this. Just for reference, I am aiming here because I knew this was shooting to the left already. I didn't want to go here and go off. So now I'm just staying with this middle dot here is what I'm going for. So we're gonna keep going here. Let's see what happens. All right, well, I shot a little high that time, but I am closer. We're probably 1.5 inches away. This is good. Let's go back to the table and discuss what I'm finding out with the bow here. All right, so I'll get all set up and let's discuss this here. We got some new information. Guys, really excited about this because something has happened where we need to stop and do a little more research. Excuse me, let me take a drink. Too pumped up now. So as you've seen, we had 3 sessions there, starting to make the adjustments with our screws here in the pockets on the right side, because we're shooting left. Per what I've researched, we start adjusting these equally. And the problem is now I'm bottomed out on these. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but what that means is I'm about 1.5 inches roughly from getting the same spot, right? We're shooting where we're touching arrows. So that's close. I don't think that's close enough. I want better than that. So what we're gonna have to do now is, this is kind of day 1. We'll see if I have time this afternoon, evening to do whatever the next step is. I don't know what that is. So now that I'm bottomed out here, I think if I remember watching something on one of the YouTube channels about this bow, is you can now adjust the roller guard here. And that also helps with moving cam. I think I gotta do more research. I'm gonna go do that. See what my next steps are, and then we'll come back and we'll shoot some more. And so, yeah, this is really good actually, because this is a learning moment for all of us, that at least if you have a Tritech, I don't know with every bow how it works, but with the Tritech, so far it's been really easy. You just start cranking on these limb pockets like it says, and it works. It's working. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad that we have more research to do. So let's go research that up. Well, that didn't take long. I figured it out just like that. I went ahead and looked it up real quick. And the next step, if you bottom out your limbs, are going to be rolling or moving your roller guard here. So from what I understand, I need to move my roller guards to the right. So let's see what happens here. Size. All right, there it is. All right, so I moved it to the right. Let's go shoot and see what happens. I may have went too far. I think I went the wrong way. I'm going to adjust that again. And now we're bottomed out on the roller guard, so let's see what happens. That's much better. We're about 3/4 of an inch. I think I'm good with that. I think that's money, guys. So what I am going to do is I'm going to step back a little further and see what happens when I shoot at a further distance. See what goes on. Not sure what that's about. Is it the distance? I don't know. I was shooting originally about 5-6 yards, which is what's recommended. So maybe I shouldn't be shooting so far away. I don't know. But I think I'm going to call this good as far as, shooting at 6 yards. We did get the arrows together. So I think I'm going to call that tuned. I'm going to do one more about 5 yards, see what happens. All right, let's shoot at 5 yards and see what takes place here. Minimally, this at least getting me all my reps in that I need. And definitely practicing some Joel Turner suggestions on target panic, so that's noticing a difference there. What do you guys think? I mean, again, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. I mean, I'm happy with it. I think I can kill with that. So we'll see. But I think this concludes our out in the field testing. Well, that concludes out here outside taking the shots. I actually just shot a shot about 40 with the one wing. I haven't even shot that distance yet with my wings to see how they did. Made another rookie mistake here. I shot at my 40, my 30 pin, but what actually came out of that, which was kind of cool, is I can now see where my 30's hitting. If I misplace when I'm at 40, how far down am I, gonna be? And it's actually, I'm probably 2.5 to 3 inches low at 40 when I use my 30. So that's kind of a cool little nugget that I found out as we're playing around here. So pretty happy about that as well. Let's jump inside and finish this up, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. So as you've seen out there, doing this test was pretty fun. The one thing I'm still kind of hesitant about, Steve had mentioned in an email about when I'm bear shaft tuning, shooting at 20, 30, 40. As I step back, I'm really I'm way off the target, as you've seen. So that has me a little puzzled still. I haven't had time to look that up and look into that. Maybe that's something that is really important. I mean, I'm coming down to the wire here to get even out into the elk woods. Life has been pretty chaotic lately, so I don't know if I'm going to have the time to go through what all that means. But as a result, ultimately, what I've read, starting at like 5 yards, 6 yards, which is what I did, I was shooting within I would say a 1/2 inch. It wasn't really even a 3/4 of an inch like I mentioned. It was like a 1/2 inch, that I'm almost touching arrows. So I'm going to say that it was a successful bear shaft tuning process, that, we learned some things through that. I'm really happy with the results. Guys, go ahead and let me know if how this stuff works, and reach out. I want to learn more. I want us all to, be able to share information. So if you guys have information on this stuff, share it. Would love to look more into it when I actually have time. Maybe in the off season, I'll be able to do more research into this and actually figure out what the bear shaft tuning, when it comes to shooting that distance, why I'm so far off. With the Tritech, it's pretty cool learning these new bows are becoming so advanced with technology. It was really simple to use. The cranking on that limb, it's, from what I understand, it's turning cams. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, I guess, but that's what I understand, is that we're tilting the cams to help better align with paper tuning or bear shaft tuning. Bear shaft tuning is supposed to represent paper tuning, so that's what I'm doing here. Let me know what you think. This episode was a fun one to make. Got to learn a lot about the bow, learned about the arrows. So now we're going to, probably the next thing here is I need to throw on some broadheads. I'm going to throw on some broadheads, see where my field points are hitting, see where the broadheads are hitting, and see if any more adjustments need made before season. So that's kind of the next thing we're going to do. We also have something coming up here in the works. I'm starting to stress a little bit, what is it, the main things we need when we're going to go get out there in the woods, if we're running out of time, if we're panicking. I'm going to cover probably my top 5 things that I know that we must we must be ready to do and have when we get out into the elk woods. So that episode will be up in here in a few months, not a few months, a few weeks. But yeah, I mean, this was a fun one. I hope you guys like this. I hope it's educational in some manner. And yeah, all right, let's keep working towards September. All right, guys, let's go. Until next time, I hope you enjoy the September air.